Welcome to the Bible Forum. It's Sunday, April 5, 2020. Sunday before Easter. You watch our president in action. What do you think of him? Do you think of him as a Christian? Do you think of him as simply a religious man? Or do you say he hasn't got a religious bone in his body? He's just playing out at this. President Trump has publicly identified as a Presbyterian. He is often associated with evangelical leaders. But is he a Bible Christian? Is he a Christian the way the Bible describes it? The obvious answer is only he and God know for certain. That we can be sure of. However, contrary to what you and I might think about labeling people, Christian or not, we have less trouble identifying hardened killers. Why is that? Well, because killers tend to kill. Kind of makes it easy to point them out. And Christians? Well, that's a personal issue, not something outsiders can judge without being, well, judgmental. And there goes the popular opinion. Now, according to the Pew Research people, there is a wide range of opinions among Americans about the details of our president's religious beliefs and practices. The polling agency reports that its research into Trump's religion reveals that half of American adults say they're either not sure what his religion is, that's 34%, or that he has no religion at all, that's 16%, while just 33% say he's Protestant. Overall, the report said Americans don't think Trump is particularly religious. Most say the president is not too religious, 23%, or not at all religious, 40%, a total of 63. More than 1 in 4 people, 28%, say he's somewhat religious, and less than 1 in 10, only 7%, say he's very religious. Just over a third express uncertainty about Trump's specific religious affiliation. I looked it up. Officially, the Pew report says Trump is a self-identified Presbyterian. As such, he is the 9th president to be affiliated with that faith group. A 2015 CNN report published just over 2 months after he declared his candidacy said Trump attended First Presbyterian Church in the Jamaica neighborhood of New York's Queens Borough. The report said he was confirmed there. The church confirmed the confirmation. The church was founded over 350 years ago. But later in the report, it said that Trump attended Marble Collegiate Church in Manhattan. That was founded in 1628. Now, you may not know much about Marble Collegiate Church unless you're from the New York area. But you do know Norman Vincent Peale. He's the author of The Power of Positive Thinking. He pastored that church for 52 years, from 1932 to 1984. He died in 1993. He was on television in the at least late 50s, early 60s. Had all the garments and all the rest of it. Now, Trump had what he calls a long-standing history with the church, where his parents were for years active members, and one of his children was baptized. The statement, a quotation, acknowledged at the time that Trump was not an active member, that from the church. And now Pew says Trump does not regularly attend a Presbyterian church. He associates with leaders in a range of faith groups, including Paula White, who's called his spiritual advisor, who previously led a Pentecostal-leaning church. Others include Southern Baptist leader Robert Jeffress, pastor of First Baptist, Dallas. Now, despite these and other public associations, Pew says that fewer than half of Americans associate him with Christianity, or more specifically, Protestantism. I would be the guy that says, no, I do not associate him with Christianity. He spent decades sitting under Norman Vincent Peale. Never heard the gospel from that man, ever. Not sure he knows what it is. But not even half of Americans, 44%, say Trump is a Christian. 33% don't even identify him as Protestant. 8% of Catholics and 2% say he's just a Christian. Now, literally, the ideas are all over the place, and it indicates that nobody knows for certain. 16% say he has no religion, 2% say he's an atheist, 13% describe his religion as nothing in particular, and there's the 5%ers. They think it's something else. Pew reports that many respondents in this group, quote, provide caustic responses, saying they think Trump worships himself and that he worships money or power, that he's a fake Christian or someone who only pretends to be religious, or that he's evil. More than other groups, the report said Jews and white Christians, which include white evangelicals, white non-evangelical Protestants, and white Catholics, tend to lean Republican, are more likely than other cohorts to say Trump is a Protestant. Pew says their survey revealed that Republicans and GOP sympathizers, quote, are about twice as likely as Democrats and their leaners to say Trump's a Christian, at 60% versus 31%, and more specifically that he's a Protestant, 47 to 23%. Democrats are more likely to have an opinion that Trump does not have a religion. A quarter says Trump has no religion, including 4% who say he's an atheist. 20% who say his religion is nothing in particular. 7% of Republicans say stuff like that. The views on how religious our president is varies sharply, depending on the person's political leanings. If you're a Republican, GOP sympathizer, you're very or somewhat religious, 62%. If you're a Democrat-leaning individual, you're probably in the 12% range of people who are somewhat religious. Now we go through all those numbers and we ask, well, what do we learn here? And the answer is nothing. All we have is opinion. It's driven apparently by values and beliefs of various people, maybe our own. But it leaves us with questions. And when you have a question as to how far something is from where you're standing, what do? Well, you usually apply the known standards of measurement. A mile is 5,280 feet, a foot is 12 inches, an inch is whatever the standard of measurement indicates in Washington, D.C. And the point is we have standards against which we measure whatever we need. So how do we measure this thing called Christian? Those happily living the Christian life, as the Bible indicates, are perfectly willing for you to follow them around and judge for yourself. While those not living so close to the biblical definition are the judge not that you be not judged kind of people. Meaning, we know we're not really living up to the standard, but we're quite certain that the standard is not the measure. Wait a minute, isn't that illogical? Yeah. So here it is. The term Christian is literally translated a follower of Jesus who is the Christ, the Messiah, literally the anointed of God. The idea of a follower is that of one who acts out just as does the one whom he or she is following. In this case, the issue is godliness, not godlikeness, not specifically. The term godly or godliness means holy, pious. So now we have to find the standard. But that standard is obviously God. And humanly speaking, it would be Jesus, who is God. So how did Jesus live here on this earth as a human being? And that's where it gets a little strange, because we are not gods. We are not Jesus. We are not perfect. Okay. But how close must we be in order to be accused of being a Christian? Can our lives be characterized by dishonesty, vulgarity, sloth? Can we be overtly immoral and still be a Christian? Well, if we go to church. Bible definition? What happens if you are a liar, an inveterate liar? Well, clearly that's not. No, but you are prone to lie. Get in a corner, you're likely to tell a lie. What if you're a thief? You say, well, I'm not a thief. How many people go to work in an office and bring the pen home? But I'm going to take it back. One day you don't. You don't even know where you put it. Are you a thief? Well, not in a technical sense of the word. You took something that wasn't yours. Well, how about the person who always arrives at work either right on time or a little bit late, but always manages to leave early? Or somebody who cares not a whole lot about the speed limit, or about being kind, polite behind the wheel. We're starting to get to the nub of the issue. A Christian is one whose character and commitment reminds us of Jesus. Not perfectly, but generally, mostly. In the way we talk, in the way we act, the way we handle money, the way we handle other people's reputations. If you didn't know either one, and you place the president next to the vice president, which one would you say was a Christian? I think Donald Trump would like to be a Christian. Now, some of the differences between these two men are personality differences, opportunity, upbringing, that sort of thing. But much of the issues that matter are the same universally in every human being you meet. Do you tell the truth? Do you treat people right? Do you have respect for authority? Do you do what's expected or only what's insisted? Can you be on time? Do you respect people? Do you steal? I don't steal. Do you steal time? I go to work. My boss has no idea when I get there or when I leave. I come home and I go online and I put my hours in online. He has to approve those hours once a week. But there are whole days we never see each other. What's your reputation? What time would you leave work if you knew your boss wouldn't know? I think about that every day when I leave job. Because sometimes I leave 5 or 10 minutes early. Nothing's going on. I'm driving the shuttle. There's nobody to take anywhere. All my supervisors are gone. But I don't leave more than about 10 minutes early, because I always get to work 10 minutes early, usually 15 or 20 minutes, at least 15 minutes early. Sometimes if I'm running late, it's 10 of. So I'm there for the whole 6 hours. You see what I'm saying? Do you treat people with respect, whether you like them or not? I work with people I have very little respect for, but I treat them the way I want them to treat me. Are you faithful to your mate? I've never cheated on my wife, not even once. How about in your mind? Your imagination? Or with your time? My wife gets angry with me every single week of our lives together. Always for the same thing. She says, honey, when you get a chance, would you take the trash out? I get right up, I go and do it. I don't mean now. Sweetheart, if I don't do it, I won't. I'll forget it. And it's too important. That's how we fight. How about with the words you use? When you get angry, when you get really upset, it's always her fault. Do you say what you think, the way you feel, or you keep your mouth shut until you get control? How about your attitude? You got control over that? Is it a godly attitude? Somebody tells you at work, does something to you, and you just, it's a bad attitude. Do you love others? I love everybody. Love is giving, expecting nothing in return. Are you faithful to your mate? Absolutely. In your imaginations, while you're watching that movie, that TV program, that internet, whatever, that phone, YouTube thingy. With illustrations like these, who do you think is the Christian? With illustrations like these, who do people think you are? Words to